This week on the Digital Coffee, Instagram has actually listened to its users. How weird. On LinkedIn, we've got a new business manager, and Twitter wants to reignite the hashtag. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb. I am an ROI mentor and consultant, which means that I help businesses like yours get more return on investment, more profit from your activities online. I am clutching a coffee mug and I can see somebody's already, two people have already answered the question on Facebook already. What's in your mug? What beverage are we enjoying together today? I have almost finished a cup of tea this morning, which is great. I shall be lashing into the coffee as soon as it finishes. So firstly, always the first to get in with a comment. Two Kates on Facebook. We have Katie Simpson, she's just been brought my morning cup by your hubby. That's so nice. I wonder, can I train the cats to do that? Kate says, morning, she is drinking tea also. So good morning to you. If you are watching somewhere else, I'd love to know. If you're watching on LinkedIn, do say hello. Love to see you in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, do say hello and let me know what's in your mug this morning. And of course, if you're watching on Facebook and you haven't commented yet, love to see your comments too. I can see there are people lurking there. I just do not know who you are. Before I get on to the news, just a reminder for those of you that use Twitter that after this show, a little bit after this show at 10:30 a.m. over on Twitter, I host a Twitter space along with my fantastic co-host May King Sang, where we discuss these topics in more detail, and you can come and say hi and you can have your say as well. Just to say that you do need to come on mobile if you want to join in. If you want to listen, you can do that on desktop. You will see the tweet pinned to the top of my Twitter profile. And speaking of making, she's over there on, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the tea that she's drinking, but she is famous for fancy tea. So there's Making, who you'll get to chat to later on Twitter if you join us. But I've had to update the news story, 2 news stories already this morning. It's like it's all happening. So let's find out what's happening.
I'm Louise Brogan, host of LinkedIn with Louise, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Ever since Facebook launched or revealed its first algorithm, it was called EdgeRank. I remember it well. You know, us marketers have had to dance to their tune. We've had to completely change what we do because of algorithms and the way that we approach and the way we try and reach our audience. You know, part of it's fun, part of it's a pain. So when last week, it was just before this show last week, it was revealed that Facebook were going to launch a new Facebook, I was like, oh no, what are they going to do this time? And, you know, we looked at all the reports and the rumors out there, and it was going to be this new thing called feeds. It meant that you'd still log in and you'd see your home feed, but your home feed would just have things from friends and recommended posts in there. And then you go into your feeds tab, and your feeds tab would be segregated. So you could see your chronological feed. You could just see posts from friends. You could go in and see posts from pages. I was actually wondering how I'd ever use that except for research. You know, who's clicking into pages? I suppose if it was a news page or something. Anyway, you could click into groups. It would all be segregated. And the thought was that this was going to be a completely new experience, and it was going to start on Thursday, yes, yesterday. And it started yesterday. And you know what? You log into your home, you see your home feed, exactly the same as before. There's just a new tab on mobile for these feeds. So if you wish to view just the posts from groups, if you want to see chronological posts from your friends, if you want to see posts from pages, you can go into those feeds tabs and see exactly what you want. So let's all take a big deep breath and a sigh of relief that this didn't turn out to be the nightmare that we expected. I am wondering, if one of those feeds becomes pretty popular, will they start putting more of that into your homepage, how it's going to affect the algorithm overall. But for now, I don't think we need to worry too much about the new Facebook.
Hello, this is Simon Hodgkins, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Is it okay to get a whole bunch of people to sign up for something and then completely change what that something is? Because that's what Instagram were trying to do, right? They were trying to do that. I think it was about a year ago that Adam Mosseri, no idea still how to pronounce his name, even though I've looked it up and I still can't really get it right. Anyway, it was about a year ago that he said, Instagram is no longer a square photo sharing app. We expected to see more video, and in fairness, I think we've all embraced that Reels tab, don't we? I love looking at the Reels tab on a Saturday morning and looking at all my little cat videos that make me laugh and make me smile. I think we've all embraced that. We don't mind seeing a bit more video in our feed. But then they started doing things like putting loads of posts in our feeds that weren't from our friends, that were recommended posts. People didn't like that. So much video that we weren't seeing the photos from our friends anymore. People didn't like that. And then they tried this full screen thing where, you go into your feed and instead of it just being all the nice photos you can scroll through, it took over the whole feed. There were no little stories at the top. There's nothing, you couldn't read the captions. It was just full on screen. And I think that was it. I think that was the breaking point, because this week, Kylie Jenner, who is famous for tweeting about Snapchat and saying she never even opened the app anymore, and caused the stock price of Snapchat to crash. Yes, Kylie Jenner, the one Kardashian that seems to have an effect on social media outside being an influencer, shared this post that was going viral, saying, please Instagram, please put it back the way it was. Adam Mosseri took note of this. And he came out almost immediately. I think the next day he came out with a statement on Twitter and on Instagram saying, look, it's just a test. This full screen thing is just a test. We're just testing it out to see if it'll work. Don't worry, it might go back to normal. Then today I woke up and it was all over the news. He's changed his mind. They have changed their mind. Instagram, Meta have changed their mind, and they have decided, one, no full screen feed. I'm kind of happy about that. I like Instagram being Instagram and TikTok being TikTok. And also, you're going to see fewer recommended posts in your feed from people that you don't follow and more from friends. So this is an unlikely win from the Instagram users. I will have to stop telling people that I'm training that, full screen is the way forward. But I am a big fan of this. I'd love to know what you think about that too. I can see a couple of comments there from Katie. Hello. Deep breath. Indeed, a deep breath. We can relax about Facebook, and a picture of a cat. Did I mention? I must have mentioned. Oh, yes. My enjoyment of watching Reels. Yeah, Insta has been, you see, I never got the full screen feed, but I knew it was coming and I was preparing everyone from it. And I started telling them the grid's not going to be the same because they're working on that as well. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen next? It's not going to be as interesting as Elon Musk and Twitter to follow, but it is going to be, in a lot of ways, very much fun to watch.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Jeremiah J-Man Monero with J-Man Speaks from New York, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Make it a great day.
If you manage lots of LinkedIn accounts, if you're a social media manager and you manage a lot of LinkedIn accounts, it is a bit of a pain. Now, I don't manage a lot of LinkedIn accounts. I've only access to a few pages and a few ad accounts when I've done just random work for clients as part of something else. It's not something I focus on, but that's still annoying. There's a lot of clicking you have to do to get where you want to, and it's very easy to click the wrong thing. Plus, it's difficult to remove yourself as an admin, as I've discovered this week. It's hard to get added as an admin. It's all a bit clunky. Or it was, because this week LinkedIn is, LinkedIn is launching Business Manager. And Business Manager, this is just like Facebook Business Manager, which means it's going to be all your pages and ad accounts that you manage in one place. You do have to set it up. It's not automatic. You have to go to a site, you have to set it up, you have to import. So you can either import your own pages and your own ad accounts, or you can get access to your client accounts, and they'll all sit in here in one place for you to manage, for you to access. Plus you'll be able to, so maybe if you are managing a lot of accounts, you work with other people, you'll be able to give people access to those accounts and revoke access really easily from this one spot. Plus for ads, if you've got an audience, you can share that audience across all the ad accounts. And that's just for starters. That's just on launch. I think this is a fantastic move from LinkedIn. One, because it's serving a need, but two, because they're obviously seeing a lot more people wanting to manage pages. The easier they make to manage pages and ads, the more ads they'll sell, right? And it goes back to that thing I always talk about. If you're a business, is it easy for people to use your business? Because if not, and you're not as big as LinkedIn, they might go elsewhere. I can see we've got Deirdre here. Hello, Deirdre. Great to see you. How is it in Wexford today? I'd like to be by the sea today. I'd like that. I feel like giving you a weather forecast now. Should I give you? I'm going to give you a weather forecast. I'm a little bit perky today, you may have noticed. So we did have some sun, now we've got some clouds. It's going to be 21 degrees in Athy, County Kildare. Come and visit, it's a lovely town. We've got a lovely museum, library and a statue of Ernest Shackleton, which I have seen being lots of people doing selfies with this week. Tell me what it's like in Wexford. And I haven't had my coffee yet either. And I'm like this.
Hi, I'm Carol Phillips from Laguna Beach, California, and I'm here watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Hi!
As somebody who used to be a very prolific blogger, I know the value of styling your text, of headings, of subheadings, of bold sections, of italics, even strike-throughs. They help your online reader find their way through your blog posts and find what it is that they are interested in. And I love the way that they have allowed you within Facebook groups. It would be lovely to have it everywhere, to style your text there, to have a headline, to have your bold text and your italic text. It really frustrates me that on some social networks you don't have that option. But actually, when you think about it, all social networks. But the ones that frustrate me the most are LinkedIn, because when you write a LinkedIn post rather than an article, you know, they can be quite long and it's really hard to style your text. You have to use things like capitals. Also in your profile summary, you know, that's there, and emojis and things to break up the text instead, in lieu of that. And also the other place is in the descriptions on YouTube, because, you know, you've got your YouTube video, but some people might want to read to see if it's the right thing. Maybe you want to put a longer text there for the people that don't want to watch the video, and it's just all one big clump of text. But not anymore, not anymore. This is the update, and I think this is fantastic. I have it already, so I assume everyone is. You can now style your text in YouTube descriptions. It's not as simple as it is in other places. You don't just highlight the text and click the B button to make it bold. In order to make the three that you can do at the moment, you can do bold, you can do italic, and you can do strike through. So for bold, which you might want to use for headings or just bits of the text that you really want to stand out, draw the eye of your reader to, you put a star either side of the text. If you want to do italic text, you put an underscore either side of the text. And if you want to do strike through, you put a dash either side of the text. I've seen that YouTubers have been very quick to jump on this, and I'm definitely a fan of this. You could do this in the comments before, but not in the descriptions. I mean, that doesn't even make sense, does it? So now go back, work on your YouTube descriptions a little bit more. If you make them interesting to read, maybe you'll get more viewers. That could be a thing. I can see I've got loads of comments coming in, mostly weather related. So let's look at that. Dull day in Wexford for Deirdre. I'm sure it'll improve. Nice temperature. Katie said, oh, I'm clicking all the wrong buttons. There we go. You didn't know that about Facebook groups. Oh yeah, when you're writing a post in a Facebook group, if you highlight a bit, you can turn it in. It's really handy. And yeah, great on I'm doing the wrong thing again. Hey, Simon, there's Simon, because I think I just featured him. You missed your appearance, Simon. You missed your appearance on the show. Styling text in YouTube, new toy. Yes, don't go, don't leave me. Come and watch the show first. We've got lots of other really important news to cover first.
Hi, I'm Carol Phillips from Laguna Beach, California, and I'm here watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Hi.
Now, I know I talk about this a lot, and I talk about how important it is. And when I was rehearsing this show, I started thinking, you know what? I don't think LinkedIn auto captions, but captions are really important on your videos. And if you're watching on Facebook, hopefully, fingers crossed, you are seeing auto captions of me talking right now, because they're fabulous at that. Because it doesn't seem to work on LinkedIn, because you have to stream through a third-party tool, and it always tells me at the end that I can't do auto captioning. And YouTube, I don't know if it captions as I go, but it does auto caption afterwards. So phew, I think I have that covered. Captions are important, not just from an accessibility point of view, but I want to put that front and center. I want to say that that is the most important reason that you caption, so that it's not a case of somebody doesn't want to switch on the sound. They can't switch on the sound, that you are still able to reach those people. But also, secondary are the people that, particularly since lockdown, we're not able to watch videos in a public space anymore, because we are in public spaces. So a lot of people rely on those captions, and that's how they view videos. No captions and you've lost them. So it's really important. TikTok, I think it was last year, implemented auto captioning for the creator. So if you're a creator, I haven't seen this option myself. I have to actually look into it now. You can click on to auto caption. It will transcribe what you say. You can edit it to make sure that it is correct. But you had to choose that option. Now, TikTok is rolling out user caption. So whether the creator has captioned or not, the user will be able to click on the captions and it will auto caption it for you. As a creator, you better start captioning and editing your captions if you want to know that the words coming out of your mouth are coming out right. That's what that tells me. Because if the creator's doing it, or if the viewer's doing it, you have no control on that auto caption. The second thing they've launched is really interesting. And this is that they're going to auto translate. They'll give you the option to auto translate a TikTok video. So the captions, the description that you put on it, they'll auto translate that. But thirdly, they'll auto translate the text on any stickers that you add. This is amazing. This is fantastic. Now, me personally, I only target English-speaking companies for my business. That's English-speaking countries, even with my language. Me personally, we'll try that again. I only target English-speaking countries with my business. So this isn't madly relevant for me. But for a lot of businesses, they would, be targeting multilingual businesses. And sometimes they'd go and create a separate account, or it meant that they were splitting the audience on the account because only a portion of their audience would understand what they say. This way, you can have one account, it will transcribe everything. So no matter what language you're speaking, you will be able to see it in the language that you choose. I think this is amazing. Can't wait to see it appearing on more videos. Just seeing some more comments there. Captions are working on Facebook where you mute the video. Very good. So glad. Always a good roundup of all the latest news. Thank you. Thank you, Simon. I can't believe you missed your cameo there at the beginning. Sticker translation is good. It helps with context and understanding. I think it's going to be huge, because the potential of TikTok is to reach, more than any other social network, I think, is to reach all those different regions and countries. So I'm quite excited about that. I don't think we had Melanie and Esther, did we? Let's have Melanie and Esther.
I'm Esther.
And I'm Melanie.
From the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast.
And you're watching the Digital Coffee
with Amanda Webb.
Once upon a time, hashtags were really useful on Twitter. They were useful because you could categorize what your tweet was about. They were useful for Twitter chats. They were useful for events and television shows where you could play along. And mostly now they're not. Mostly now they do nothing except for clutter up a tweet. Sad but true. There is still a use case for them, I think, for events. Less so for television, because I just find those full of spam, but sometimes I find actually just searching the keyword for the TV show is more relevant. Definitely for events, and definitely for Twitter chats. Now, I'm not a big participator in Twitter chats. I don't enjoy the whole process of being in a Twitter chat. I just find it too much typing. I don't know. But there is still a use case there. But pretty much, they're not relevant anymore. They kind of died a death. But Twitter may have found a really useful way to reignite them. They have started adding them to communities, to topics in communities. So if you're in a Twitter community, and I don't know if you are, I'm in a few, I don't find them particularly useful. Maybe they will take off one day. But this new feature could help that when you go into the Twitter community, you will see the most used hashtags at the top of the community. And that will be like outlining a topic within a Facebook group. So you can click that hashtag within the community and you will see all the content related to that hashtag. It's a really simple and effective way. It is so Twitter, just the simplicity of it to filter your content to the stuff that is most interesting to you. I looked on my communities, either people aren't using hashtags yet or this hasn't been rolled out, but I do think that this is a really useful tool, and I'm looking forward to seeing, will it make communities a little bit more useful? Because to be honest, I don't even know if I see posts from communities. I very rarely notice them. Could be a good thing. We've got one more story and I think it's a good one, so do hang around.
Hello, this is Nicole from Wonderstars and you are watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now, this could be the coolest thing that Instagram has ever done. Instagram are working on a walkie-talkie button for direct messaging. So she looks for her phone. She's hidden her phone from herself. So I'm going to pretend I'm holding my phone. I press the button and I say, Amanda, come in, Amanda. Let my button go. And it blasts out like a walkie-talkie. And then Amanda gets her phone and she says, this is Amanda. I copy. And you can have a little conversation walkie-talkie. Like when I was a kid, this would have been my dream. Of course, kids can't use Instagram, but still, as an adult, I have used walkie-talkies when I worked in the film business. I still find this concept exciting. I think it would be a great addition. It's a bit of fun. It is stolen, of course, because, Instagram's never had an original idea of its own. There is a messaging app called Voxer that does walkie-talkie type communication like this, but still, they steal stuff. Yeah, I've still got Voxer on my phone. I think this will be great fun. Katie says she's always wanted a walkie-talkie. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was obsessed. This was the one toy I wanted. I never got. I was an only child as well, so who was I talking to? I don't know, but I always wanted that. Okay, that is all the stories for today. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all your comments. It's been fabulous to have you. I know I'm a little bit excitable today. I don't know why, but it's been fun, right? Don't forget at 10:30 a.m. you can get more of this madness with Making Sang, my amazing co-host who I love hosting the show with. I love chatting with her once a week. You can come along and have your say as well. So come on to Twitter at 10:30 a.m. You'll see a pinned tweet at the top of my Twitter account. If you're on mobile and you join, you can even join in the conversation and tell me that I'm just talking rubbish. And you know what? That's the fun of that Twitter space. So do come along. If I don't see you there, I will be back same bat time, same bat place next week. Until then, bye-bye.